This is my audience. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to work less but be paid for that same 40 hours? I know I have personally. Today, I hope to persuade you and your employer to cut down to a 4-day work week. I will preview 3 reasons why I think 4-day work weeks are the best thing in the world. I mean, obviously. I'm going to review the concerns revolving around a shortened week, the science behind the benefits for adults specifically, and how some employers have already made the switch. Don't let life pass you by because you're tied down to your desk 5 days a week, or a job in general. The concerns revolving around this condensed work week are mainly student-based. All public schools are required to provide a certain number of instructional hours every week, and the common misconception around condensing a work week or school week comes from some news stories suggesting that class time is going to be cut as well, but that's not typically the case. There is very limited research on this topic, but on August 1st of 2025, in an article called 4-Day School Week, research shows the impact of a condensed schedule varies by school location and student grade level, by Denise Marie Ordway. In that article, Paul N. Thompson explains that certain schools who have 4-day schedules have lower student achievement due to the reduction in the amount of time the students are in school. However, in the same article, Thompson also stresses that if the schools maintain adequate levels of instructional time, there is often no change in the student achievement. How the school implements the change is very crucial, and again, it does depend on if you're in a suburban school or a rural school, and also on the student's grade level. So shortened weeks can be a benefit only if we set ourselves up for success. Today, I'm going to be focusing on the benefits of a condensed work week for adults specifically, and this is kind of due to the mixed studies that they still have for students. In another study, it was reported on June 30th of 2025 by the University of Oregon in an article called 4-Day School Week May Not Be the Best for Students, Review Finds. That article reviewed many districts adopting this are attempting to address budget and staffing pressures of the area, which obviously that's not setting really anyone up for success. But to focus back on work weeks for adults, an article by Zara Abrams on January 1st of 2025 called The Rise of the 4-Day Work Week. She goes on in that article to explain that the data behind work weeks being limited is, or work weeks being shortened is limited because not many employers do it, but there have been trials that have shown the worker well-being and satisfaction had risen, as well as the improvements to retention and recruitment of those employees as well. That same article goes on to explain that in multiple trials across more than 200 companies, employees were reporting better mental and physical health, life satisfaction, and positive effect. They also experienced less stress, burnout, fatigue, and work-family conflict. An article published in December of 2022 called Moving Forward by Sean Smith states that companies within their first and second trials noted an improvement of productivity and growth in revenue when adopting these condensed work weeks. When asked if they would continue using that 4-day work week model, none of the companies said no, out of over 200. So that's positive there. The 4-day work week benefits both employees and their employers in the long run. While most companies are switching to a 4-day work week, there is one company that switched to a 32-hour work week, which in my opinion is heaven. On June 21st of 2023, in an article written by Christine Margiotta called How We Transitioned to a 32-Hour Work Week, it explained in order to ensure a smooth transition, they implemented many strategies, one of them being a no meeting Monday. This helped the employees have uninterrupted focus time and ensuring space in the employees' calendars for other tasks. That same article went on to explain they emphasized the importance of managing tasks for the employees' connections with each other, and keeping their calendars updated since it was so condensed. They also emphasize the importance of being responsive to emails or Teams chat messages, whichever they use, and maintaining flexibility while adjusting to that change, because change is hard in any way you cut it. With structure and flexibility, the change to a 4-day work week is easy to begin. Today, I hope I have persuaded you and maybe your employer both to take the jump and switch to a 4-day work week. We have reviewed the concerns about the condensed work week, the benefits for adults again specifically, and how some of the companies are already switching and the benefits of that switch. Don't sit back and wonder what it would be like to have a 3-day weekend every week. You can find out for yourself.